A pleasure to meet all at last, and welcome back once again to HJN Season 5. And well, the heat sure has been cranking on pretty badly, and I will say that because of the excess humidity and moisture that I've been putting together throughout the time of recording, this room is going to be getting a bit stuffy. So I do plan on recording several episodes though, so going forward, expect either the lens to get a bit fogged up or something else to go down, because that's how determined I am to finish my job here. So for this instance, what I would like to do is to talk a bit about bartering for subject number 2692. And well, what better place to be at than, well, to get started on said subject. Bartering refers to a process of exchanging of goods without the usage of currency, money of any sorts, whether it be dollars, pesos, kroners, yen, marks, any known currency that has been regarded throughout the world for various exchanges of goods, services, etc. Bartering is commonly seen as the precursor to that of the establishment of legal tender currency, including the dollar system. But the thing is that while it has been used since the dawn of time as a means of exchange between different parties, merchants, townsfolk, and many people out there, for hundreds of years, thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of years, humanity has been using this well-known system as a means to get a benefit or possibly some other known add-on to what their current life is going through. As in, you might throw yourself in a few plants for, let's say, a bit of an upgrade. You might get some building materials and exchange it with an owner of a shop or anything in particular in order to get something better. In the days of the medieval times, for instance, bartering has been used as a means of whether they create an actual currency by the usage of precious metals, gold, silver, bronze, etc. A lot of times, most fantasy RPG games will actually use in-game currency, often made up by the creators, developers, publishers, etc. The programmers essentially create it as a form of fantasy to the whole unique world in which that the game impacts in. Meanwhile, reality as it shows today means we're all looking for a few extra bucks. It doesn't matter if it's from our regular job, an odd job that we do elsewhere, or from anything of the sorts otherwise. But as we know, bartering is still of common usage nowadays. Although there is a bit of a catch. While it might have been commonplace thousands of years ago, at a time in which currency wasn't all that common, bartering today is seen as a bit of a tax liable set of income by the IRS. And that is part of the reason why most people don't look to using bartering as a means to make a living. I myself have actually used a form of said bartering known as liquidation. And while I have talked a bit about that in its own entirety on HJN, I will at least go so far to admit that maybe it's not all sparkles and sunshine when it comes to how bartering has pretty much evolved into an entirely different set of economic stature, but the United States and the rest of the world should know by now. Bartering is what technically led to the development of currency in the first place. While legal tender bills are of total validity, bartering is still something that most people ought to look into. As in, I could probably, let's say, trade in this pillow for something in particular. Or maybe I could get a hold of a nice lighter used for lighting those fancy cigars in Las Vegas. And the value of those might have all dependence based on what kind of cash value or check, credit, money order, otherwise. Whatever kind of currency system that people operate on, it's still of importance to realize that while bartering might not be as well regarded or even as legal as it once was, we ought to remember it. We exchanged our own clothes, even if they were pretty dirty and used, just so we could get by. That's what it took. Our own clothes used to be our currency to get by in life. Should it be necessary, of course. But while we do have an alternative for that so that we can hopefully keep our clothes on our bodies when it gets colder out there, that's not to say that it should be any better. I mean, green pieces of paper with a bunch of government text written all over it, that's pretty much what it is, in a nutshell. Yeah, I feel like I've talked a lot about this sort of subject, so I'll probably end it here. If you want to see more go down on my channel, though, make sure to like, subscribe, comment, follow me wherever you can find me, and stay on the Hollywood side.